It is Tuesday, which means I am going to react to an album. And you will notice this fancy Waltz yellow mustard poster here, 100% unnatural. Today is 325, which means Frank Zappa, Overnight Sensation, and David Bowie, Hunky Dory, in honor of all of the Chads out there in the world. And Chad, in this case, being an endearing context, because if you didn't know, I actually have had just nothing but great experiences with Chads in my life, but neither here nor there. We're going to start off tonight with Overnight Sensation, hopping back into the Frank Zappa world. I'm quite excited about this because as I come on in here, everything I have heard Frank Zappa do has just really dropped my jaw. I watched after reacting to Apostrophe, I watched on Amazon on Hulu a documentary about Frank Zappa, and I was just very, very, very interested to see the body of work told through all of these different instrumentalists. And I'll be honest, I don't really recall, because I haven't invested the course of time into really learning and studying the body of work, but I am pretty eager because as I've gotten more into fusion and jazz, I can't deny that Frank Zappa is a composer who just happens to have a rock and roll band instead of an orchestra. It's really cool to me. Now, this album cover is kind of gnarly. You see Zappa Mothers. There's probably a whole bunch of this that I just do not understand. This is underwear, like yucky, whitey tighty underwear, too. Matchbook of Bob's. Okay. Two-faced dude back here. Guys, give me all of the context in the YouTube comment section or in the chat over here on the album cover, in the album in general. Either which way, I'm going to hit the play button on this thing. Before I do, it's very important to me that you understand that you are awesome, that you are valuable, that you are important, that you matter, that you are deserving of love, and that I am abundantly grateful for even a moment of your time. If you like what you see, feel free to hit the like and the subscribe button. It goes a long way to help me out. And if you really like what you see, leave a comment. I would love to hear from you, or join us on Twitch. These people over here are actually the best people. I stream every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Arizona time. Come discover music with us. This is actually one of the most amazing groups in the world to discover music with. Whether you dislike it or you love it, you are going to find friendly, loving people. Guys, who wants to listen to Zappa? And for context, poll of the chat over here, just yes or no, I have listened to this album. Yes or no? Let's see who's listening to this for the first time with me, okay? I have listened to it, yes. I have not, no. Here we go. Frank Zappa. Love you guys. Thank you, by the way, for being here and just journeying through music with me. Let's do this thing, shall we? Frank Zappa, The Mothers. I love the riff. Also, it's like the highest fidelity tambourine I have ever heard recorded, ever. Bro!
She had that Camarillo Brillo flaming out along ahead.
His voice.
Her Mendocino Beano by where some bugs had made it red. She ruled the toads of these short forests and every newt in Idaho.
She turned me into a newt.
And every cricket who had chorus.
I got better.
By the bush in Buffalo. She said she was a magic mama, and she could throw a mean tarot, and carried on without a comma, that she was someone I should know. She had a snake for a pet, and an amulet, and she was breeding a dwarf, but she wasn't done yet. She had gray-green skin, a doll with a pin. I told her she was alright, but I couldn't come in. I couldn't come in right then. And so she...
Gosh, his transitions are so crazy because they don't sound like they have anything to do with the song. And it makes me so happy that just in the middle of this kind of like weird telltale about a witchy woman, you know what I mean? Like we end up with don 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 don. And then you get Frank's like bum, 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 bum.
And so she wandered through the doorway, just like a shadow from the tomb.
The leads in the back.
Stereo was 4-way, and I just love it in a room. Well, I was born to have adventure, so I just followed up the steps.
The tom work is also
Right
tremendous.
past the fuming incense stencher to where she hung her castanets. She stripped away her
Hey,
rancid
love you, Harris.
poncho and laid out naked by the door. We did it till we were on concho,
Unconcho?
and it was useless anymore. She had a snake for a pet and an amulet, and she was breeding a dwarf, but she wasn't done yet.
And she was breeding a dwarf. I love his character approach to his singing. Like he has that kind of thing. Even like an apostrophe with like the you know the dog pee saga, whatever we want to call it, right? Like there is just this thing where he has the ability to play characters, and when you have like music that has so many transitionary pieces, it kind of feels like it's got scenes. Like it really does feel like listening to a movie. And I love that. And again, like just the whole this chorus is kind of dope.
And it was useless anymore. She had a snake for a pet
She had a snake for a pet
and an amulet,
and an amulet.
and she was breeding a dwarf, but
Yeah, like, but she was breeding a dwarf. Like, I love the way he articulates. It's making me so, even just to impersonate it, I'm getting excited. And I think I've actually talked about this, like with my family, like people that are really close to me. They can always tell when I really, really, you know, enjoy something just because I like try to do it. You know, like I try to emulate it or make the noise with my mouth. Even if I just fall on my face in the attempt, I'm going for it. Which is why I know that I can get pretty close to doing sheriff's, you know, when I'm with you. Believe it or not.
she wasn't done yet. She had gray green skin, a doll with a pin. I told her she was alright.
The horns in the back, too. The toms and the drums.
And so she wandered through the doorway, just like a shadow from the tomb. She said a stereo was 4-way, and I just love it in a room.
I've done one little feet song.
Well, I was born to have adventure,
I get it,
so
dude.
I just followed up the steps, right past the fuming incense stencher, to where she
The
hung her
horns.
castanet. She said she was a magic mama, and she could throw a mean tarot, and carried on without a comma, that she was someone I should know.
The piano going up.
Is that a real poncho? I mean, is that a Mexican poncho or is that a Sears poncho?
Is that a Mexican poncho?
No fooling.
Honestly, this reminds me of kind of like Spin Doctors a little bit, like the song Two Princes. And I feel like it's just in the sound and the way it carries itself. But it's crazy to think that this would inspire something because this was done in 1973, I believe. The Sears Poncho thing, I'm not quite sure I understand what the context is, though I love he said unconcho. And I don't feel like I'm ever going to be able to say the words unconscious again because I heard Frank Zappa say unconcho. And that's just what the word is forevermore. You know what I mean? That's just what the word is forevermore. I love I really, really, really love this. Yeah. Honestly, I feel like again, you can hear so many sounds that inspired, even like something as recent as like Black Country New Road, right? Like their most recent when they did Live at Bush Hall, for example, the horn sound kind of reminded me of that. Except this was kind of more fast and upbeat. But I feel like you just can see his influence riddled throughout music. Mm. In this, oh my gosh, did you hear the hard punch that came in with? Okay. Honestly, I really loved that first song, guys. Like, I really loved it. I think it's just the vibe and the fun and kind of the silliness. And I don't know. It's like very conscientiously silly, very conscientiously genius and just meticulous. The editing, this is done on tapes. Like they cut and sliced this stuff and got it like just through. Like, and again, hearing how clean everything is, like the attention you can clearly see he paid to detail in the mixing and the mastering and the editing. And especially now knowing what I know about it, even just a minimum, like, an hour long documentary or whatever, it just seeing his approach and kind of seeing the man that he was and the workaholic that he was and just the obsession that he had with it, it really makes this feel so much more special. The intro is wailing. Is that a clav? Yes! Immediately, yes! And it's just building.
I am gross and perverted. I'm obsessed and deranged. I have existed for years, but very little has changed. I'm the tool of the government and industry too, for I am destined to rule and regulate you. I may be vile and pernicious, but you can't look away. I make you think I'm delicious with the stuff that I say. I'm the best you can get. Have you guessed me yet? I'm the slime oozing out from your TV set. You will obey.
The slime oozing out of your TV set. So I want to comment on several things here. I'm gonna just make it a nice and easy pause, so you guys don't have to worry about my being verbose too much. But the way he's got such a hot mic to where you can hear all of the characteristics of his mouth. So just for like he's got just this crazy deep boisterous kind of compressed gnarly and with the baritone of Frank Zappa. It's just a lot, and you can hear all of the characteristics of the things his mouth does. And I really friggin' like it, dude. I really friggin' like it. If you are an audiophile, for whatever reason, the sound of a tongue doing what it does in a mouth, like I don't want to see it. I don't even like the fact that I like to hear it, because I don't like the ASMR stuff. But when I hear these little editing choices in music, that's the closest thing to ASMR I'm going to get, right? Like when I hear like a pick scrape on a guitar string, or I hear like a wound string scrape against a callus as it's sliding up, those things really mean something to me. And so when again I hear this vocal editing take with Frank Zappa, and I recognize the conscientious decision it is for him to just simply sound like that, it's exciting to me. And there really is just a tangible, you can bite the frig into it kind of characteristic to the sound. This is the sound of what I mean. In music terms, I would say his voice has a lot of balls to it, but not because of the person that Frank is, but because of the way they edited an already ballsy voice. It's beautiful, dude. It's beautiful, dude.
The best you can get. Have you guessed me yet? I'm the slime oozing out from your TV set. You will obey me while I lead you in the garbage that I feed you.
Like,
until the day that we don't need you. Don't go for help, no one will heed you. Your mind is totally controlled. It has been stuffed into my mold, and you will do as you are told until the right see you are sold.
so you, and even then, his voice is so far over the top of the instrumentation that you actually have a loud drummer that it's like loud drums that are turned down. So you have the feeling of loud drums, but the softness of quiet drums. There's such polarized concepts of recording. And yeah, no, Tara, I haven't even gotten to that part yet. I was gonna let it wrap up and just go through the thing, but I think I just get so excited about stuff like this because again, you have again like a really kind of hard hitting. This is America. That's enough said. That's all I'm gonna say about this song. This is America. I want to go back a little bit to hear that transition.
Until the right see you are sold.
That's what the reference was, Sky. Yo, Oxy, thank you so much for them tickle bitties.
Well, I am the slime from the video. Who's in along on the living room floor? I am the slime from
Garrett,
the
get me the...
Can't stop the slime people looking.
Who did this, Garrett?
I am the slime from the video. Who's in along on the living room floor? I am the slime from the video. Can't stop the slime people looking me go.
Headphone listeners, identify yourselves in the chat, because I'm going to have us all listen to something here in a moment. Okay, this was super sand juiced. Like this part right here, there was so much to pick apart about the ending of this solo. Okay, and by the way, headphone listeners unite. I love to see it. So, okay, as we get into the solo, you have this kind of wah pedally thing. You've got this squealing guitar thing, but in the right ear, it almost sounds like a revving motorcycle. Okay, I need all of us to put our heads together and figure out what the it almost sounds like it's peaking whatever mic it's hitting. What is that sound? His ability, dude. It's a Geiger counter? That is actually the thing I think I believe the most. But that is the closest sound to what, yes, Cone, I'd say that you are that's the closest bit I've been able to get to identifying what that sound is. And it's like primarily right ear. It almost sounds like he's peaking the mic with a snare drum strike, maybe. Like a 2-drummer scenario and a second snare. This was just so fun. And again, the slime oozing out of your TV, right? I think that's honestly why I feel like maybe what I attempt to do here isn't frivolous, right? Because there is an infinite amount of ways you can find to feel really terrible, whether it's watching the news, whether it's watching internet drama, whether it's, investing in things that make you feel bad, like watching stocks, watching finances, watching like sad things happen to good people, whatever the case, right? And I feel like so much of that is perpetuated. I feel like people want the world to feel bad because I feel like there is profit and sadness. And as a person who works in business, who handles money for a living, that I just can't not see the world that way. And I think when you make the TV, and certainly in this time period, it was a lot easier to control the narrative with the TV because that's how everybody got their information. And now you can get your information from anywhere and you can choose it. And they like the algorithms like throw you stuff that make you feel bad. And my thought was like maybe doing something that I share with people the same affirmations I say to myself to try to make myself feel better as a person who just deals with like bad feelings and is trying to overcome them through a wholesome lifestyle. I don't watch TV. I don't invest myself in politics or the news because I feel like they're politically, they're charged. Like I think politics is a great way to turn anybody hostile. And I would much rather focus on our agreements than our disagreements because I feel like those disagreements are perpetuated. I feel like people want us to disagree on things, which is why I will always stay far, far, far away from politics. And I think how, something so positive and wonderful, I think all of you guys have really kind of been wonderful enough to resound with that. But I think when you see this, right, like I am attempting in my own way to be countercultural to an evil I see on screens. And I know that sounds silly, but that's really how I see this in a lot of contexts. And that's why I say the thing in the beginning and at the end. And people call that weird and parasocial, whatever. I don't care. It's my way of trying to make a tiny change in the world. And that's how I go about it because of things like the slime, because this idea is so real and it controls so many of us. And there's so much polarization in the world already that maybe if a whole bunch of people from a whole bunch of different backgrounds can all just say like, man, this song is dope, and be in a safe place to also say, man, this song is not dope to me, but I like that you guys all like it and I'm here to stay. That to me is proof that you can overcome the slime, right? And I think you guys are proof that we can overcome the slime. And I don't mean to soapbox, but this is something I feel very, very, very strongly about, and why I operate my channel the way that I do. It's why I don't take like any kind of sponsorships. It's why I don't like take direct like funds from people outside of just whatever people feel goodly enough to support through the channels that Twitch and YouTube allow. I don't want to be a part of something that I see as, evil. And if you want to change something, leaving it doesn't help. So I think that this song says a lot, that it got me onto a soapbox as a person who is staunchly anti-soapbox. I think it says a lot about Frank, the artist, and Frank, the musician, that there is so much to be said about this besides the amazing instrumentation. Again, with the mixing, the mastering, he wails on guitar. He is such an underrated guitar player. I don't mean to be so verbose about this. I just am very excited. And again, the more I've invested in Zappa, the more I just see an artist whose work I can't help but respect. And shout out to Tina Turner and the Ikettes. Dirty Love, let's go.
Give me your dirty love. Like you might surrender to some dragon in your dreams.
Frank! I've not even been taken to dinner yet, sir.
Give me your dirty love. Like you might surrender to some dragon in your dreams.
I'm gonna pause it again, and I know you guys get annoyed when I do this, but like you might surrender to some dragon in your dreams. Like, this dude wants the dirty type of love, like the dirty dragons in your dreams kind of love making. Sorry about all that.
Your dirty love. Like you might surrender.
Like, he wants to dragon love somebody.
Give me your dirty love. Like a pink donation to the dragon in your dreams.
A pink donation?
I don't need your sweet devotion, and I don't want your cheap emotion.
Whip me up some dragon lotion for your dirty love. Your dirty love.
Give me your dirty love. Like some tacky little pamphlet in your daddy's bottom drawer. Give me your dirty love. I don't believe you never seen his book before. I don't need no consolation. I don't want your reservation. I only got one destination, and that's your dirty love. Your dirty love.
I'm never gonna look at a dragon the same way again in my whole life. Never again. Like, I've just never even thought about dirty dragon love, And I hope it for me. I hope it for you. May you find your dirty dragon lover. We should all be so lucky. Buddy.
Give me.
This has been so much more guitar driven. This album has just wailed. I feel like this has certainly been my favorite Zappa guitar work, and we're like 3 songs in. Not even the dirtiest on the album. I'm over here breaking a sweat right now. But this guitar, oh my god, dude. The drums going back going back and listening through that solo the second time gave me the ability to appreciate what was happening with the drums behind it. Like, you hear the guitar wailing, but you just hear, and then further than that, headphones, listen to the way the drums pan, especially when he does these runs going from the snare up the toms and down to the floor. Do you hear it?
Give me
It's so good.
your dirty love, just like your mama make her fuzzy poodle do. Give me your dirty love, the way your mama make that nasty poodle chew. I'll ignore your cheap aroma and your little Bo Peep diploma.
I'll just put you in a coma with some dirty love. Some dirty love. That dirty love.
That's not a harmonica, is it?
The poodle bites,
Come on, French.
the poodle chews, it's
Snappy.
Frank Zappa mentions poodles in songs. Because apostrophe, the same thing. The poodle.
the poodle bites,
Come on, French.
the poodle chews, it's
Snappy.
the poodle bites,
Come on, French.
the poodle chews, it's
Snappy.
the poodle bites,
Come on, French.
the poodle chews, it's
Snappy.
poodle bites,
Come on, French.
poodle chews,
Not a speck of cereal.
poodle bites,
Come on, French.
poodle chews,
Nothing but the best for my
poodle
dog.
bites,
Come on, French.
poodle chews,
Come on.
poodle bites,
Come on, French.
Golly, dude.
All sticking up.
I really feel like, again, I can't help but feel like Fish heard this album at one point in their lives. Like, I certainly, the more I hear Frank Zappa, the more I hear the Fish from Vermont. Or I should say it this way: the more I hear Frank Zappa, the more I hear Frank Zappa in the music of the Fish from Vermont. If that's probably the better way to say it. Like, especially the way it kind of ends into the nonsensical, the poodle bites, come on, Frenchie, right? Like Fish has like Harupa, right? Like, kind of, it's more of a tell story kind of thing, but there's certainly something there. Like, there's a connection, like the animal thing, like I like that. I don't know. It's exciting to see that these things that I've been getting into recently that have like really captivated me, right? Like Fish, The Dead, Dylan, like all of these things that just were peripheral to me, not necessarily on my radar. Like, going back and then hearing the way that these things, like falling in love with Fish because it was something I hadn't heard before, and then listening to Frank Zappa because that was something I'd never heard before, and then being like, oh my gosh, they're like same but different, but same. And then you see the spirit behind the music, like the characteristics behind everything, and you see like what they invest of themselves into it, and you see that they similarly invest similar things, with the difference being whatever their respective skill sets are. I don't know. Listening to the older music, especially lately, has made me appreciate the music that I have loved the most and been falling the most in love with. And I tell you, all of this musical exploration has genuinely made me fall in love with King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard the most. And I know that's funny to say, but when I branch out and I hear Giz and Frank Zappa, I think to myself, like, oh my gosh, like I'm a little bit closer to kind of understanding what my favorite fellas are doing. And I feel like this is a quintessential part of the fun of music discovery. And it's fun to do that with people. Thank you guys for being here for this. Dirty Love wailed, dude. The strongest guitar song on the album so far. Gosh, it starts off quick.
Well, my dandruff is loose, and my breath is chartreuse. I know I ain't cute, and my voice is carpool.
Who's singing this one?
crazy enough to sing to you. Anyway.
This is Frank. I've heard Frank do this voice. Not that I've heard Frank. Yeah, is this Frank or is this not Frank?
And my voice is kaput, but that's alright, people. I'm just crazy enough to sing to you.
Yeah, if you don't know what chartreuse is, by the way, it is the most disgusting chartreuse. So just so you know, this is the color chartreuse, whatever, right? It is a disgusting color, right? Like, it is the color of baby diarrhea or pea soup throw up. Right? Maybe both. Like if you do a number 5, like it's that color. Okay? That's the breath that he's talking about. Okay?
Figure the odds be 50-50. I just might have something to say.
This voice. I don't know. I don't know how he does this voice. The bass line is gnarly.
I'm just crazy enough to sing to you. Any old way. I figure the odds be 50-50.
The drums work.
Something to say.
I just might have something to say. In my pants. Dude, his voice, I just might have something to say. I can't even get close. I hope somebody gave him some chamomile tea or something at the end of that vocal take. Like, this song is so silly. It's like, this is not one of the, well, this particular one is not one of those ones that has me soapboxing, right? Like, the slime, it's hilarious to me that tucked away in all of this absurdity and hilariousness and, like, you know, dragon love is something like I'm the slime. What a guy. Oh, man. Buddy. What is this an organ? Like, this is fusion for sure. Real fuzzy low-end guitar there. Is that a fiddle? That's a fiddle. That's a guitar. Oh my god, dude. God!
Taking your time.
And then we're just right back to that. Oh my gosh. That was one of the most face meltinest solos I've ever heard, but it went straight from like violin, which was melty on its own. And then it's like it almost gets eclipsed by the guitar solo. Almost gets eclipsed by the guitar solo. But when you walk away from it, you're like, wow, that was just they just traded back to back some of the most virtuous sounding stringed instruments ever. That was so good, dude. Golly. And Jerry, thank you for being by, homie. Thank you for hanging out.
I have sung you my song. Ain't no great revelation.
They do it live.
But it wasn't too long. And that's alright, people. I'm just crazy enough to sing to you. I figure the odds be 50-50. I just might have something to say.
Dude. The toms, everything shifting. Oh my god. I'm going to pause it, roll an ad break, and go pee. That was unbelievable. I will be right back. Okay, let's get us back to it, shall we? I am going to hop back in. It looks like Zomby Woof. Okay. Side B. So it was a good break. The horns. The percussion.
300 years ago, I thought I might get some sleep. I stretched myself out on my antique bed, and my spirit did a midnight creep. You know I'll never sleep no more. It seemed to me
His transitions.
wise.
Did you ever wake up in the morning?
With a zombie wolf behind your eye. Just about as evil as you.
Was that a collab with the wah pedal that I was just hearing there? Like, and a tremolo?
Behind your eye. Just about
That.
as evil as you could be.
Dude! You hear the dive bombs? That's like Zakk Wylde must have listened to this years ago. Gosh! Here I'm is. Here I'm is. The Zomby Woof. Here I'm is. I think therefore I'm is. This song is mega weege. This is my favorite Zappa guitar work so far. Like the album, I mean. And this vamp and jam here while he just shreds. Golly, dude. Unbelievable. Like, actually gnarly. I gotta tell you, though, that clav is sounding as a little superstitious. Do it to you. Oh, this is the time change. Here I'm is, guys. Here I'm is. Here I'm is. Yeah, no, there's no doubt I'm going to be listening to more Frank Zappa. There's no doubt. Like there, it's just impossible that I would consider not doing more. Just so you know. Moe Humm. This is fishy for days.
couldn't say where she's coming from, but I just met a lady named Dinah Moe Humm.
Dynamo. Oh.
She strolled on over and said, look here, bum, I got a $40 bill, say you can't make me come.
A $40 bill? That's the most surprising thing to me about that sentence in this particular context.
You just can't do it. She
You just
made a
can't
bet
do
with
it.
a sister who's a little bit dumb. She could prove it any time all men was scum.
For sure. Yeah. No, that literally was what I was thinking. That intro with the guitar part definitely reminds me of Punch. Right.
I don't mind that you called me a bum, but I knew right away she was really gonna come. So I got down to it. I whipped off her bloomers and stiffened my thumb and applied rotation on a sugar plum.
Applied rotation on her.
I poked and stroked till my wrist got numb, but I still didn't hear no dynamo hum. Dynamo hum. Dynamo. Dynamo hum. Where's this dynamo coming from? I done spent 3 hours and I ain't got a crumb from the dynamo. Dynamo, dynamo from the dynamo hum.
Got a spot that gets me hot, ooh, and you ain't been to it. No. Got a spot that gets me hot, ooh, and you ain't been to it. No. Got a spot that gets me hot, but you ain't been to it. No. Got a spot that gets me hot, but you ain't been to it. 'Cause I can't get into it unless I get out of it, and I gotta get out of it before I get into it. 'Cause I never get into it unless I get out of it, and I gotta get out of it to get myself into it.
She looked over.
Mylanta. Tina Turner's voice, huh? You know? You want to run it?
Spot that gets me hot, ooh, and you ain't been to it.
Night Scoots.
Got a spot that gets me hot, ooh, and you ain't been to it. No. Got a spot that gets me hot, but you ain't been to it. No. Got a spot that gets me hot, but you ain't been to it. 'Cause I can't get into it unless
It's occurring to me that Tina Turner is singing about her sugar plum. And I don't know if I were Ike, if I would be very psyched about that.
I get out of it, and I gotta get out of it before I get into it. 'Cause I never get into it unless I get out of it, and I gotta get out of it to get myself into it.
She looked over at me with a glazed eye and some bovine perspiration on her upper lip area, and she said, just get me wasted and you're halfway there, 'cause if my mind's tore up, then my body don't care. I rubbed my chinny chin and said, my, what sort of thing might this lady get high upon? I checked out a sister who was holding the bet and wondered what kind of trip the young lady was on. The $40 bill didn't matter no more when her sister got naked and laid on the floor. She said Dinah Moe might win the bet, but she could use a little if I wasn't done yet. I told her.
Anybody else hearing punch you in the eye in the midst of this steamy moment?
When her sister got naked and laid on the floor, she said Dinah Moe might win the bet, but she could use a little if I wasn't done yet. I told her.
Just because the sun won a place in the sky, reason to assume I would give her a try.
So I pulled on her hair, got her legs in the air, and asked if she had any cooties in there.
What do you mean, cuties? No cuties on me.
She was buns up kneeling. I was wheeling and dealing. she surrendered to the feeling, and she started into squealing. Dynamo watched from the edge of the bed with her lips just a twitching and her face gone red, some drool rolling down from the edge of her chin while she spied the condition her sister was in. She
Someone's doing drugs and watching it. This is like a
quivered and quaked and clutched at herself while her sister made a joke about her mental health till Dynamo finally did give in. But I told her all she really needed was some discipline. Kiss my aura, Dora. It's real Angora. Would y'all like some more? Right here on the flora. And how about you, Fauna? You wanna?
morbid fascination, man. There's nothing to realize how prude you are. Like listening to Frank Zappa. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing like being a masculine dude that clutches his pearls because listening to Frank Zappa breaks you a sweat. You know, makes you break a sweat. Whatever. Kiss my aura. Is this the origination of that particular phrase? Because if so, I have heard this said so many times in my whole entire life and never knew that it was a Frank Zappa thing. The next thing I want to comment on, this is the most risque Frank I have heard to date, and it has got me just in stitches. I am literally over here being like, "Oh my lord." Like, I feel like I you know, my grandma would be just ashamed of me right now. But I also am like, you know, morbid fascination here. Let's you know, let's call it like it is. It's kind of hilarious, kind of funny. Uh Also want to comment on the fact that Dinah Moe Humm is on the same album that I'm the Slime is on. You remember that journey? That was the same album.
Sound like you're choking on something. Did you say you want some more? Well, here's some more.
Golly. This music is amazing, too.
Look. You think I could interest you in a pair of zircon-encrusted tweezers?
Tweezers.
Tweezers.
All of the fish
Wait a minute,
fans
let me sterilize them. Give me your lighter.
are going crazy. Tell me you do not hear
Say where she's
fish.
coming from, but I just met a lady named Dinah Moe Humm. She strolled on over, said, "Look here, bum, I got a $40 bill, say you can't make me come."
And he
just can't do
revisits
it.
that. You just can't do
I
it.
whipped off a bloomers and stiffened my thumb and applied rotation on a sugar plum. I poked and stroked till my wrist got numb, and you know I heard some Dynamo hum. Some Dynamo hum. Dynamo hum. Dynamo hum. Dynamo.
What's up, Trides?
Dynamo. Some dynamo. And little dynamo. And some dynamo. And some dynamo. And some dynamo.
Board fades it.
Dynamo. And some dynamo.
I think the board fade was just a much more popular decision in the back then. Okay. This one is Montana. Is this? Oh my gosh, this is the closer. And by the way, I feel so uncomfortable about the fact that I just hit the like button on Moe Humm. But it was great. And the album closer is Montana. So here we go. Oh man. Oh man.
Might be moving to Montana soon.
Okay.
Just a rate.
After that drum intro, then we just get this low jam. I love it. 7/7. Yeah. I think it might be 7 out of 7 songs.
Raising it up, waxing it down.
A crop
In
of
a
dental
little white
floss.
box that I can sell uptown. By myself, I wouldn't have no boss, but I'd be raising my lonely dental floss.
He's going to be a dental floss farmer. And the xylophone sound, Ruth, right? Ruth is the one that played the percussions, right? Is she the one that's doing that?
In my lonely dental floss.
Got it. Thank you.
Well,
It really does sound like television score to me. I can't help but hear the Flintstone sound for Fred Flintstone going bowling.
just might grow me some beans, but I'd leave the sweet stuff to somebody else. But then, on the other hand, I would keep the wax and melt it down,
Okay.
pluck some floss, and swish it around.
You're swishing floss
I'd have
around.
me a crop, and it'd be on top. That's why I'm moving to Montana.
Okay.
Moving to Montana soon. Gonna be
Bow.
a dental floss tycoon. Yes, I am.
Moving to Montana soon. Gonna be a mental toss like
A fly coon. Bro. Gosh. The bass line.
That's growing on the prairie
was so cool, dude. I don't even know. Yeah, for sure cardiacsy, but like who would think to find first of all, you're playing that as a transitionary piece from the sounds of things, right? But it's like kind of more of just a moving part, like transitioning you out of a scene. But then you find a singer to sing that, and I can't tell if it's like I'm guessing that they sped up the tape.
Get on anyway. Even if you just stop and celebrate. Get on anyway.
Maybe.
I'm gonna find me a horse. I'm gonna find me a horse
Bro.
just about this big and ride him all along the borderline with a pair of heavy-duty zircon-encrusted tweezers in my hand. Every other wrangler would say I was mighty grand. By myself, I wouldn't.
He got a great pair of
balls,
tweezers.
But I'd
Great
be
pair.
raising my lonely dental floss.
Okay.
Well, I might ride along the border with my tweezers gleaming in the moonlighty night.
The moonlighty night.
And then I get a cup of coffee.
His
and give
spelling.
my foot a push. Just me and the pygmy pony over by the dental floss bush.
My uncle, who lives like really close to me, like maybe like less than a mile away, just coincidentally where I moved into the city. But my uncle has a pygmy pony, and his name is Marcel, and Marcel is just adorable.
And then I might just jump back on and ride like a cowboy into the dawn to Montana.
Okay, for those of you who don't know the pygmy pony and why this is funny, okay, hang on. For those of you who don't know, this is a pygmy pony, okay? He's talking about riding like a really little guy. And that's why it's so funny. Like, a pygmy pony, though, is a different level. So when you put this into the context of him riding, and he's a large dude, when you put this into the context of him riding and you see that imagery, yeah, easily a pygmy pony could ride a horse. Easily. So again, the imagery of Zappa riding the pygmy pony at dawn to Montana is just hilarious. Like, really the funniest thing. Whoa. Yippee-yi-yo-tie-yay! That's so huge. It is 7 for 7. For sure, 7 for 7. Absolute. It makes me sad that on the fade out she gets the biggest and you don't get to hear it as well. an exemplary album, dude. That I would absolutely watch. I haven't gotten to visit live Zappa yet, so perhaps the next thing I do is live Zappa of some things I've already seen. You know what I mean, or already heard. That was that was a 100. That was masterful. That was silly. That was funny. That was creative as all get out. The guitar work in this one really stands out by comparison to the guitar work in either Hot Rats or Apostrophe. I mean, this was distinctly very, very, very much guitar driven, and I loved that. And it was still silly, but I also felt like he does take himself seriously in his lyricism from time to time as well, and that just makes me happy. I really, really don't think I could say enough about this. I'm very eager to listen to it again. That was such a fun time. Absolutely, absolutely, 100%. Yes, I recommend. Guys, I love you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for the positivity that you show both to me and to one another. Continue to be the best. And until I see you next, be introspective and consider the birds. Goodbye.